The Boys and Girls Club of the Portland metro area has several local clubs, and for a lot of kids, it is a safe place where they can have fun and learn. But it can be more than that. Because of a program that began 6 years ago, it's also changed many young lives and families, too. Most afternoons at the Inyukai Family Boys and Girls Club in Hillsboro,
Me like to play pool with staff.
you'll find a playful 8-year-old named Matthew Eastless Burke.
Look how good I am at this practicing.
But months ago, he didn't want to play with anyone.
Well, before we got the boys, we knew that Matthew had kind of a past.
Jay Eastless and her wife adopted Matthew and his little brother.
He'd been in several placements.
She tells me he has autism and was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder as well as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. They tried programs to help him socialize with other kids, but they didn't work.
In public and in settings where Matthew was away from us, like a school setting or something like this, a few years ago was basically, we couldn't do it.
Then in June, they enrolled Matthew here.
And there are lots of kids like Matthew here. He's not the only one. And this kind of individualized for each kid here what they need.
The one-on-one attention is part of what's called trauma-informed care. Staff members are trained to spot when a child has gone through a severe situation, whether a child is withdrawing, acting out, or behaving in another way that makes a staff member take notice. They know how to work closely with that child, as well as their family. With trauma-informed care, there is this one method that's called taking a time in, or here at this club, they call it taking a break. And for example, if a child is having a moment of difficulty, they can come into a separate room like this with an adult that they trust, and instead of being isolated, they have this place and this time to kind of breathe in and recoup before going back out. The idea to include this trauma-informed care started at this very club in 2014.
It was like all of it suddenly made sense.
When Rachel Schutz was head of the Youth and Family Services here.
It was like, oh my gosh, that's the root of the challenges that we're seeing.
She saw a way for the Boys and Girls Club to go beyond being just an after-school program.
It's showing somebody that you care and never giving up on them, no matter what. And that's what every child deserves.
In a matter of months, Matthew's come out of his shell. His mom tells me she's grateful how he's grown and how he's part of a program that will continue to help him.
He's much more in touch with his emotional feelings, and sometimes that's hard. Autism is a diagnosis where you don't always know how to process all of it. It's a cliche, but it does take a village to raise a child.
All right, so we were at the Hillsboro location there. Well, Rachel got trauma-informed care implemented at all Boys and Girls Clubs here in the Portland metro area. And so it means now all staff members are trained. And get this, Rachel even trains other organizations about that as well.